Good morning, ladies. Today we're going to start with a new topic here, or the new lesson we have in chapter 2, which is talking about direct variation. Okay, so what is a direct variation? Now, a direct variation, it's a relationship between y and x. Now, you can write a formula for a direct variation function as y equals k times x. Or we're going to write it as k equals y over x. If we move the k over there, it's going to be division. So it's going to be k equals y over x, where k cannot be equal to 0. X represents the input values, as we learned yesterday, and y represents the output values. The formula y over x equals k says that, except for 0, 0, the ratio of all output-input pairs equal to the constant k, the constant of variation. So today our lesson, we're going to have like an equation, okay? And we're going to know from this equation if this equation is a direct variation or not. This is number one. Number two, what is the constant of variation? Okay? Now we have here another idea. In a direct variation, y over x is the same for all pairs of data, where x is not equal to 0. So y1 over x1 equals y2 over x2 equals y3 over x3, and so on, yn over xn. When this is true, the ordered pairs is going to be x1, y1, x2, y2, where neither x1 nor x2 is 0. So again, we're going to use this idea in problem number 3. But let's start now with finding if the equation is direct variation or not, and finding the constant of variation. Now let's start with the first problem we have here, identifying direct variations from tables. Okay, for each function, determine whether y varies directly with x. If so, what is the constant of variation and the function rule? Okay, so let me just copy this and start solving it. It means they're asking if the equation here is going to be a direct variation or not. So what we're going to do, based on the tables, we have the x, which is the input, and y, which is the output. We said, we said k equals y over x, right? So then we're going to find k for each equation here, like for each input and output, and we're going to see if all k's are equal, meaning k here and k here and k here, they're equal, it means it's a direct variation. If it's not equal, it means it's not a direct variation. So now let's see. K here is going to be equal to y over x, which is going to be 2 over 1, which is equal to 2. Let's check here. Oh, that's going to be this way too. It's going to be 6 over 3, which is equal to 2. Let's find the last one here. 8 over 4, which is equal to 2. So we have in the first one k equals 2, and the second one k equals 2, and the third one k equals 2. So all of them, they're equal. It means it is a direct variation. Let's check here. Here we said it's the same as 2 over 1, which is equal to 2, 6 over 3, which is equal to 2, 8 over 4, which is equal to 2. It means that all of them, they're equal, so y varies directly with x. So now let's check the second example we have. Now it's the same question. We have to find if y varies directly with x or not. So again, we said that we have to find k for all of them. So k equals y over x. So now let's start finding k. Here it's going to be 4 over 1, which is equal to 4. 8 over 2, which is equal to 4. 11 over 3, which is equal to 3.66. It means k here equals 4, k here equals 4, but k here equals 3.66, so it is not a direct variation. It means y does not vary directly with x. Let's check. 4, 4, and 3 0.667. So y over x is not a constant. Y does not vary directly with x. Okay, so now we got the first problem we had here, y varies directly with x, and the second problem we got here, y does not vary directly with x. Both of them, how did we get the answer? How did we get that y varies directly or does not vary directly with x? From the k we found from each input and output here. Okay, so now let's go for the third problem we have. For the function, determine whether y varies directly with x. If so, what is the constant of variation in the function rule? So they want us to find the if y varies directly with x. This is number one. Number two, what's the constant of variation? It means we want to find k, and the function rule. So we have three things to find here. Okay, so first of all, just let me write the rule over here. Y over x equals k. Okay, so now first of all, we're going to find if y varies directly with x or not. So we're going to find y over x for all. So y over x. Now let's see, for the first one, it's going to be negative 21 over 3. And for the second one, it's going to be equal negative 14. We're going to check if all of them are equal or not. Negative 14 over 2. And we're going to check the third one is going to be negative 7 over 1. So now let's check the answers here. It's going to be here equal to negative 21 over 3, which is negative 7. And here, negative 14 over 2, which is also negative 7. Let's check the last one here. It's going to be negative 7 over 1, which is equal to negative 7. So it means the first thing we got here, yes, it varies. Y varies directly with x. Now let's see here. If so, what is the constant of variation? Now what's the constant of variation? Which is k, right? And we said k equals y over x. So what's the constant variation here? We have the second thing we got is k equal to negative 7. Now the last thing they're asking for here, the function rule. Do you remember we said that y equals kx? So now we're just going to substitute k into the equation, which is going to be 3. The third I think they're asking for, it's going to be y equals k equals what? Negative 7x. So these are the three things that they asked us for, and we found the answer. Now let's check if our answer is true or not. Yes, the first thing here we got that y over k equals, all of them, they're equal to negative 7, so it's the same as us. So yes, y varies directly with x, which is, as we said, the constant of variation is negative 7, which is k equals negative 7. That's right. And the function rule is y equals kx. It means y equals negative 7x. So now we know how to find if y varies directly with x or not. We know how to find the constant of variation, and we know how to, if y varies directly with x, we can find the function rule. Now let's go for the second idea we have here in our lesson, which is identifying direct variation from equation. So the first thing we had is identifying the direct variations from tables. The second thing we're going to find it, identifying direct variations from equations. Okay, so now let's see how can we solve this. For this function, determine whether y varies directly with x. If so, what is the constant variation? So they're asking us to find the direct variation if it's directly if y varies directly with x, and the constant variation. Okay, so just let's solve this together. Okay, so we have to find if y varies directly with x or not. So first of all, we got to remember that the original equation, it has to be y equals kx. So we're going to check if this equation, if we left y alone and we moved everything away, will it be this form or not? this is the way to find the if y varies with x using equations. So now let's see. To leave y alone, we have to move the 3 over there. So it's going to be y equals, now we're going to divide by 3, so it's going to be 7 over 3 x. Are they the same form? Yes. So now this means that y varies directly with x. So the first thing we got here is yes, y varies directly with x. And the second thing they're asking for, what's the constant variation? So what's the constant variation? We said the constant variation is k. So here, what's k? It's 7 over 3. So k equals 7 over 3. Now these are the answers that we got here. Let's check them together. So yes, we divided by 3, so we got this, which we are going to simplify. So this is the answer. Since y equals 7 over x, it's the same form as y equals kx. Y varies directly with x, so this is the form, the same as the original form. So yes, it varies directly with x, and because it's a y varies directly with x, it means that the constant of variation is over here, which is